I'm gonna try this again. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I don't want to say welcome to my channel. Why do I keep saying that? It's because every single other YouTuber says, hi guys, welcome to my channel. Okay, take 4. Hi guys, I'm Emily. I am making videos on relationships and college, and relationships in college, and college relationships, and basically any combination you can find of those two things. Today's video, we are going to be talking about 5 things that I wish I knew before going to the same college as my boyfriend. The first thing I wish I knew is how important it was going to be to balance him and new friends. The first semester of college, going into that already having a boyfriend but no other friends was a balance, because my natural inclination is to just retreat and say, oh well, I have my boyfriend so I don't need other friends, or well, I'd rather hang out with him than maybe this awkward group gathering that I didn't really want to go to but I probably should have. What I learned is just how important it is to hang out in groups. Don't just say, I'm going to see my boyfriend, and ignore all your friends. That's the first thing that I wish I had thought about a little bit more before I went to college with my boyfriend. The second thing I wish we had done is to set boundaries. And yes, I do mean physical boundaries. I know, she went there. I don't just mean physical boundaries. I also mean spiritual boundaries, emotional boundaries, boundaries with friends. I just wish that Hunter, that's my boyfriend, I wish Hunter and I had talked about these kind of things before we started college, because we probably could have set some really good boundaries. Like, each of us needs to feel like we are living our own life in college, and so we're gonna limit the amount of time that we see each other so that we can both get settled individually. There's some boundaries in especially your first year in college that if you already have a boyfriend, you may not even think, like, how does he fit into my work life? Are we gonna do homework together all the time? I hate this advice. I hated hearing this, but it's just the truth. You figure it out as you go. So I'm looking back at this saying, yeah, I wish I had done this, I wish I had done this, I wish we had talked about this before college. But to be honest, before college, I didn't know this was going to be a problem. But honestly, at the beginning, we didn't really have many set boundaries, because we were just like, we don't know what it's going to be like. We don't know how often we're going to want to hang out with friends. We don't know how often we're going to want to hang out with each other. We don't even know how much time we'll have, extracurriculars. Like, freshman year was a roller coaster, that's for sure. All that to say, have some boundaries if you can foresee some things coming up, but maybe don't be too crazy about it, like I'm sounding. The third thing I wish I had known before going to college with my boyfriend is my own needs. Let me explain. I wish that I had understood what I needed from him a little better, because I need a little more consistency in my life. I need to know, hey, I get to hang out with Hunter on Tuesdays. We would say sometime Tuesday in the afternoon after classes, we would either get dinner together, we would take a walk around the pond, we would play cards, we would talk, but we dedicated just an hour on Tuesdays to catch up, and the main goal was to just get a feel for where the other person was at. Are they having a really rough day? Have they had a horrible week? Have they had the best week in the world and I had no idea? It was really helpful for me to have that time that we could debrief and talk about whatever was going on in our lives. Yeah, I wish I had known that my need was to have more intentional time with him. The more I talk, the more I realize I'm not really talking about 5 things I wish I knew. I'm kind of saying like 5 things that you should know. Maybe I'll call it 5 things I learned by going to college with my boyfriend. That's a much better title. And it only took me half the video to come up with that. I don't know. I'm getting my numbers all mixed up, to be completely honest, now that I've changed the title. Whatever. I'm gonna say 5th, and I know I've skipped 4th, but I said 5, so I'm gonna stick with 5 even though it's 4. The 5th thing that I learned from going to college with my boyfriend. If you continue to watch my videos after this one, I will probably say this every single time. And if you're my friend, you know that this is like the only thing that I talk about. If I ever give you any relationship advice, I will say, communicate, communicate, communicate. Just talk to each other. I'm very passionate about communicating. Honestly, if you don't tell your boyfriend or girlfriend what your needs are in that moment or how you're feeling by something they've done, they're not gonna know. There were many times where Hunter and I needed to sit down and he would come to me and say, there's this thing that you're doing that's kind of bothering me. And we would just talk. And we would just have to be honest with each other and say, this is how I feel, and just listen to the other person and understand where they're coming from and not get defensive. Easier said than done. But if you don't ever tell your significant other what's going on, they're not gonna know and nothing's gonna change. And what's really encouraging is that a lot of the time, they're like, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was doing that. I mean, come on, that's the joy of having a relationship, is that you can come to the other person and say, this is bothering me, let's work it out. And they love you enough to say, all right, let's do it. And it might be a little hard, or it might be super easy, and they might be like, sure, I'll stop taking my sweaty socks off in your dorm room. And you'll say, great, thank you, that never should have happened in the first place. I'm saying, if you're already dating somebody and you're considering whether to go to the same college as them, I want you to know that it's possible. Like, it's totally, totally doable. Long distance is hard, so is short distance. So is living like 10 feet away from them in another dorm. Each side poses its challenges, but you can do it. It just requires some honest communication between you and your boyfriend of what you expect, what you need. All that to say, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope that it was at least interesting, even if you're like, I'm single and 14. It might not be the most helpful for you if you're single and 14. Anyway, I hope that you got something out of this. If you like this video, if you want more content like this, I'm gonna continue posting videos about relationships in college, but you can also check out Girl Defined on YouTube. You can also look at Paul and Morgan. You can check out both of those people. I'll link them in the description. In the description box below. Leave me a comment, let me know, something random. I don't really care. I just want to say hi. So, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for watching. I feel like I've been talking for like 8 years, so if you made it through, you're a real one.